preppers, homesteaders, and all the rest of you special fine people. Welcome to GrayManPrepping. And tonight is that fabulous night known as Tactical Tuesday, where we're going to cover tactics, gear, and more, but mainly tactics and more tonight. Tonight's topic is Food Source Recon 2. Now, I got a special guest here with me. So, everybody welcome our fellow Earthling, Howie.
Hey, Gil.
Hey. Now, I think it was August 2nd last year, I did Food Source Recon. And we talked about, looking for farmers, food outlets, all that sort of neat stuff, where the orchards are, that so you can go bargain and do stuff. Well, now we're doing something more of Howie's line. And that's one of the reasons I sent that link out to Howie, was because what we're going to be talking about here is foraging.
Every day, man.
And let's see, do I got to say, okay, yeah. There's lots of stuff out there to forage in some areas. Other areas, not so much, but there is always something everywhere to forage. And I got some other ones here, whether it's, I'm not sure what half these things are. I just found some good food. Gooseberries. Okay. Yeah. Little pricklies in there too.
Lots of worms, extra protein.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things you can forage and look for out there. And of course, that's our background here. I was looking at a bunch of foraging things, and these are all the ones pictures of what people got while they're foraging. And then we got books. Now, some of the books are they're general for the United States. But this this one is just the North American edition. But then there are some, like I grabbed two that for me in Idaho. So if you research for books on foraging in your state, you should be able to find something. And that gets rid of.
You froze.
And now I froze. And that gets rid of the slideshow. One of the things is I've got to get those books so I can see what's farther away from me, because close to me, there ain't nothing much at all to forage because it's all agricultural land. Well, yeah, okay. After they go through and harvest the potatoes, I could probably go out there and forage for some leftovers that are left in the ground. Same thing with the sugar beets. But everything else that they grow around here, it's the alfalfa and the others. There ain't much left after the combines go through.
Mushrooms in the wild forest, right? Or wild mushrooms in the wild forest. That's about all you have there.
Yeah, that's about that's getting up to Tetons, and that's about a half hour or so driving away. Now, over at the Snake River, there's some stuff along the shoreline, but no one hardly goes down to the shoreline other than at the campsites, because there are cougars down along the shoreline.
Mountain lions.
And the deer and stuff. And so people go to the campsites and stuff. There's usually somebody around that has a gun just in case.
Well, yeah, nobody wants to mess with a pro killer, right? That's a cougar, right?
Yeah.
Who wants that?
Yeah. But
wish I could.
And here's what's scary, Howie. I found out the number of deaths by mountain lions, cougars, pumas, and all that stuff is a drop in the bucket compared to moose. And we actually have moose wandering through town now and then.
Oh, sure. No.
But there's about the only thing there's, people say, we have a lot of the star thistle around here. People say, you can harvest that. You can, get stuff from that.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
Yeah. What if I get 2 pairs of welding gloves on and a blowtorch to burn all the thorns out first?
I'd rather tackle a bull moose and rut than go near that.
Well, exactly. And the Russian broom, which got imported here years ago, which is a very invasive weed around here. I mean, the goats are the only thing that'll eat it after it gets more than a foot tall. The cows stop eating it.
Yeah,
and that's what they brought it for, was feed cows. And they, after it's more than a foot tall, they go, it's changed its flavor. It's nasty.
It's bitter. It's really super bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I got to get those. I got to get some books, and my wife's been talking about it too, so we can know what's out and around about. And
Go
I've
for a
been.
walk with someone that's already been there. That's the
Yeah,
best. You can have all the books in the world you want, but you get a person that's been foraging, that knows the mushrooms, knows the greens, knows what cambium layer you can eat, what rhizome, what tuber. It's the ones that you don't see is the good food. Generally, if you see food like Indian hellebore, well, you wouldn't eat that. You don't need a natural lobotomy, right?
right.
There's it all comes down to the experienced person you seek out in your locale,
Yeah,
and then you go for walks with them
yeah.
and
There's
take your
something
notebook.
Yeah, you take notebook exactly. Yeah, got to
Yeah.
have your notebook here. I just
Well,
forgot.
where you
I forgot to do something, Howie. I got to do something here. I almost forgot. I forgot to say
Sorry,
hi
go
to
ahead.
everybody.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Shadow Scout Swede was first one in, then Gear Grind in 19, then Phelan Clan Wolf is lurking. Garden State Gardener's here.
Joe.
Troop 1351 is lurking as well. Suzanne Galay is here. Shawnee Shade is here. Kaylin Strain is here. Tip Top Girls in the house. You're making comments. Brenda Duncan 1900 Homestead is here. Jay is in the house. Trying to catch up. Everybody's talking now. Now it's getting kind of hard to pick out the new ones out. Drink here. And Our Cabin in the Woods is here. And Idaho Garden Girls here. And scrolling down here.
Steph.
And I'm just about down to the bottom here, I think. Oh, CR's in the house.
Yep.
And getting down to the bottom. Back to good. Hey, how's it going? Victoria Rose is here. And Courtney White Family Farm is in the house. And excellent. I'm caught up. All right, Courtney's going to come up and join us.
Wonderful.
As well. And anybody here in this Little Lone Preppers in the house. Woohoo! Now, anyone that has gone out foraging and something, you're invited to come up on the panel here. Hang on a second. I'm throwing the link out here. So if you've been prepping, not prepping.
Rose.
Everybody here should be prepping, but if you've been foraging, come on up, and we'll have you on the panel here. I think I can get like 10 people up here. But that's we can get. I want to get a couple more people up here that have been foraging and talk about it, because when it comes to actual foraging, the only thing I ever foraged was honeysuckle, blackberries, and wild strawberries, and that was in California back when I was a kid. But yeah, there is just so much stuff here you can forage depending where you're at and how well you know your area. I'm having brain fart here. Stringfield Ridge Farm. They've done several videos on foraging in their area. Mm. What do you got there, Howie?
I foraged this lemon balm and mint and spearmint, and I just put it in my big cup, and I put hot water in. So yeah. So that's enough for me, and that was foraged within 1 kilometer of this property. That's what you want to know. The rest you'll figure out later. But what's one square kilometer around you, or 1 square mile?
Yeah.
Yeah. Identify all the poisonous and nauseous and toxic plants. There's probably about a dozen in your local area.
Yeah.
So the rest, you can.
Just about everybody has dandelions growing around.
Well, dandelion root too, hey? I've got that here as well. Mallory from Quebec Homestead sent me some she harvested.
And Steve at Corsair Trainers, man, it just chat just went on by. Steve at Corsair Trainers is here. Jeremy from Tennessee Tactical One is here. Jay says, don't forage the same time as the bear does. They don't like to share. And yeah, so if you're going to be foraging is something you really just figure out, including those still in suburbia and like Corsair trainers. He goes around, wanders around, and sees. There's a lot of stuff in his videos when he was out wandering around, just looking at the area. I could see a lot of food there that he could forage. And BW is in the house. Hey, welcome, first time viewing. Welcome,
a lot of people here.
Yeah. So, dang, I forgot to update the other banner. One of the things I'm going to be doing here in about 5-10 minutes, I'm going to be doing a member giveaway.
Oh.
And a $5 Amazon gift card for channel members.
Am I a member?
I didn't see your name on the list, but I uploaded it for the reel.
That's all.
Yeah. All right. So there are a couple changes to this list here. I haven't updated this list yet, but this is most of these people are still members here, and I know that Glenn at How to Garden has become a member at the. There's Courtney. Has become a member at the Grayman level. Hey. So yeah. So that's these are our members, and so I'm going to be doing a $5 Amazon giveaway in about 5-10 minutes, and another one 20 minutes later.
Jujube's here.
Oh, man, that thing just went flying right on by. Gear's been a member for 7 months. Jujube's here. And
trying to share you out here.
Yeah. So if you're wondering whether you're a member or not, let me clear this off here and bring that back up. The members, close that. If they when they make a comment after their name, usually all the members are a moderator as well. So after the blue wrench, they'll have a little icon on there, whether it's the GrayMan, one of the GrayManPrepping icons, or I'm looking to see who else is out there. It would be the hot dog icon, or tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up the. These are. That one. The hot dog's on Camp Patton. Never mind. These are some of the icons right here. If you see one of these icons there, those are the members here.
Hi, Howie.
Hey, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm good.
I don't usually see you with glasses on, so it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I usually wear contacts, but I've been giving my eyes a break the past couple of days, so. Yeah.
I have never worn contacts. I wear cheaters because basically, these are half moon ones, so I can see over the top for walking around and everything. But when I need to read anything within 2 feet here, I need the cheaters.
Yeah.
And Suzanne Galley has been a member for 7 months. So everyone that's a member, you can go if you click down below by the comment section where it has that $sign. You should be able to put out what's the word I'm looking for? What the free membership messaging, how long you've been a member and stuff. So that's one of the things. Let me check. I'm checking my wheel here. Here, just make sure I got everything here set up here for the.
Whoa, your chat's flying by, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's the chat's going. So, yeah. So, just all right. And Walt's been a member for 6 months. Garden State Gardener was one of my original members. Shawnee Shave's a member. Gear Grind is a member. Suzanne Galay's a member. Idaho Garden Girl's a member. Yeah, so it's all the ones going across there at the bottom there.
Well, they're not wasting their time because this is an excellent channel.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite channels. There's Corky, there's you, there's about 5 other ones that I visit, and then that's it. I don't have time to visit anymore.
Yeah, one of the things that the reason I do this channel is to try to impart my all the years of knowledge I've learned. I don't. All right, I'm being selfish by imparting this. This is how I'm being selfish. If I can get a lot more people prepared, they're not coming after my stuff.
That's it. I watched a show on Raiders on the Sarges there, and he was.
I got it queued up here. After this, I've got to watch it.
Well, he talks about like what's like around his environment that you wouldn't think that's food. Yeah. Now, that being said and done, I make my food and my environment invisible. That's the key. Like, leave your potatoes under the ground, but take off the greenery that's dying back. Get rid of that and throw some soil there that nobody knows what's there. And put your potatoes around a certain tree so you always know those spuds are over there for you. Yeah. And I do that with a lot of food. So you just need to hide it from raiders. And they will come. If they know there's food there and they're hungry, people are stupid when they're hungry.
Yeah. And Howie, you've talked a lot about sunchokes, also known as Jerusalem artichokes.
Yep.
Nobody knows that those are underground there. And you got a lot of them.
Stem, and then they're hidden. And put them around a bush or a shrub or a tree. That's key. And another thing is everybody's looking for kiwi and grapes on a vine. No. Put them in the trees. You know, who looks up in a tree? Nobody. I see all kinds of people when I climb a tree here. You know, I'm sitting there in my harness and I'm looking around. I do it quite often for a gag, right? And you see people looking around my property like this, and I'm like, hey, what do you want? You're like, what?
And you're just hanging out.
I have some spurs that I wear, and I've got a harness, and I've got some lanyards, and I got some ascenders and stuff like that. So I monkey around a little bit. I used to be a tree surgeon, so I have a lot of gear left over from that. So, yeah, I don't do it so much no more. It was brutal work, man. Comparable to going to battle. So it's kind of rough.
It's time. I need to do. I'm going to do one giveaway for channel members here. So let me bring this up here. There it is.
I'm on the Price is Right.
Yeah. And I'm going to shuffle this up here. Now, if someone will notice, there are 5 names that are on there twice. Those are the GrayMan level members, and that's one of the benefits of the extra $1 a month membership you get on you get 2 entries in. So shuffle it up here, and let's see who's going to get a $5 Amazon gift card.
Gee,
and I forgot to share the music. I forgot to share the music out.
Oh, look at all the skulls, though. That Well, that's a collection of souls. Hey.
All right, Phelan Clan Wolf. All right.
I don't know if they're here. I don't think so.
Let's go ahead and hit close. And
oh yeah, they are here. Phelan Clan Wolf.
Phelan's here. He was one of my Eagle Scouts.
Am I bad?
All right, let's go back here. We'll do another drawing here. So let me get my notebook out here and write it down so I don't screw up on this here.
Very important notebook, especially with foraging.
Yeah. All right. Today's the 12th, so 9-12. Phelan, $5. All right. There we go. And we'll come back to that in about 20 minutes. We'll do another giveaway. All righty. Yeah. Foraging is a skill that every homesteader, prepper should know. And and if you're not one of those categories, it's something you never can tell what goodness you're going to find out at a city park or wherever around. And Glenn from WD Glock and Roll just came in. I'm not sure if Glenn goes foraging or not over there in Oregon. but he's in an area where he could easily go foraging a lot. I mean, he's got acreage over there. So
lots of Oregon grape, Salilberry, Pacific Trailberry grows wild there where he is.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of grapes, you're going to love this. We planted some grapes around my house in California there because, we've had Concord grapes at my parents' place since 1960. And it grows up over the pump house, and we go out and I canned grape juice and stuff and everything else. But my wife was putting me in, and I built some. She had me build some nice trellises, and we started reading up on how to get the grapes, to prune them and stuff, and do everything right on it. And we found this article from a gentleman in England, and he has a bunch of letters after his name, and he teaches at one of the universities over there. And his big thing was saying, trellises are okay, but you really want to see grapes go wild, plant them near a big tree where they, like an oak tree or something, and just let them, and train them up into the tree, and just let them go through the tree.
Put twine up to the branch, and they'll just crawl up into the branch. You'll have more grapes than you can harvest. I got more, I can't even eat all these grapes. I can't even pick them all and give them all away. I got so many grapes. And the bird.
And then because when they start growing through the trees, they'll shoot out from one branch and get to another, so that it has air flowing around it and stuff in there, and so you get better air circulation around. And Prepper 101 came in.
Cut all your leaves off when they grow in the tree like that. Get a pole pruner and pull the leaves all off, or a type of hedger, and then they'll ripen. If you don't do that, the grapes may not ripen. So you need to pull off those leaves to get the sunshine in there to make them fat and nice and colorful and sweet. Yeah, I had to do that here, lots.
I have grapes, but I've only planted them like 3 years ago, so they're only like.
They should be growing leaps and bounds every year. They should be growing several feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Time to dump manure on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The number one thing to remember after is HTF for myself. Forage takes on a whole new ball game. There is no gloves on at all. My gloves are off. So it's not just plants on the ground and deer running by. I'll go make a deal with the butcher, and I'll tell him I want all that fat to make tallow. Then I'll go down and I'll make a trap down at the ocean. The gloves are off. It's you or them. What's it going to be?
Exactly.
If I did call you Glenn, I meant to say Don. It's Don at WD Glock and Roll. Glenn at How to Garden is just joined up a couple days ago at the GrayMan level.
Right, How to Go. I watch that guy go fishing.
Yeah, he does a lot of fishing videos, either late at night or early in the morning. And he's been doing some other videos and stuff out, little not short. He's been doing some shorts, but some other 1-2 minute videos as well.
Milk jugs are your best friend for fishing. You put 4 feet of line onto the milk jug handle with a hook and some bait, and when a little fish bites it and eats it, just let it go. Bigger one will eat him, and have that line right to it. Use a big milk jug. When I was foraging in the center of Vancouver Island, there wasn't a lot to forage in the middle of winter, but I had a milk jug and a fishing line and some worms, and I was catching 4 and 5 pound cutthroat trout and rainbow trout. I was eating like a king. Yeah. Oh. Milk jug. Who would have thought, hey?
Kaylin says the same. Her dad used to use a trout line with a milk jug and spin them, hooks to catch. Hang from. Yeah. And again, and that's the thing. Fishing can be considered foraging.
Oh yeah, anything that you go and get is foraged.
Yeah.
Right.
As soon as I walk out that door, anything in the food forest, outside the food forest, in my daily life is foraged. Like I'll trade with the First Nations for salmon, and I trade them some things that I'll grow here. It's all comes down to buy, sell, trade, barter, steal, borrow. Sorry about the steal part, but when you're hungry and that apple looks good on that tree. You're going to take a jump over that fence. You're going to dodge some salt or worse, some lead. But people, I'm telling you, it's worse than taking their Blue Ranch. You've taken their food. They are lunatics, man. I had a pretty rough upbringing. I grew up for the first 11 years on the tundra of northern Canada. So I had to go out there and skin that grizzly bear with the Inuit. I had to go out there and catch rabbits. I had to go out there. I'm 12 years old and I'm shooting caribou. Okay, and I'm eating the gut inside the caribou, eating the fermented lichens. Okay, it was sweet and beautiful and full of vitamin C. So when it comes to forage, I can't wait for SHTF. I'm going to have the best time of my life.
One of the things, why I titled this Food Course Recon 2 is because one was going around checking all the farms, orchards and stuff, food processing plant, making friends, who you can deal with, trade, find out what they're growing. You grow something different, you can trade with them and deal with them. With this one, it's going out and finding where the stuff grows. Where are the mushrooms? Where are the berries? Where are the wild lettuces? Where are the acorns? Where are everything?
You're absolutely right. And on my channel, there's a playlist called Forage. Okay, there's 400 videos of foraging. Okay, I don't know if you guys know that. But I forage every day. The minute I wake up, I'm looking at the spring down the road recently, and there's a new kid that moved to my village, and I'm going to try to get him. He's probably watching right now because he's very astute. And I'm going to try to get him to come and make a little area where we're going to put stones in there and always have about 2 or 3 feet of really good, clear spring water from the Olympic Mountain and Cascade underneath the ocean. It pops up as the springs along here. You must have part of your forage is water. You have to have water. Like Sarge was talking about the American beauty berry there. It's insipid. There's no taste, but by golly, there's a lot of them that grow on there. And anybody looking at it, the newbies, I wouldn't eat that. That might kill me. Right? Yeah. That's how they think. That's their ideology. That was a really good part. You're going to like his video. Because I knew a lot of it, and some of it I didn't know. So the kudos.
Yeah, it's like there. And little prepper, plant edible landscaping plants, daylilies, hosts, nasturtiums, the Jerusalem artichokes or sunchokes. Also plant perennial vegetables like asparagus, artichokes, rhubarb, and there's like some things like rhubarb, I believe it is. There's certain parts of it you don't eat.
Leaves.
Don't. Yeah. And so the thieves are going to come in and steal the leaves, and that's going to be their problem.
It's a nightshade. That's why it's a powerful astringent. You starve to death. That's what happens, eh?
Yeah.
It shuts down your stomach. If you want to lose weight, have at her.
Yeah.
Anything powerful astringent is a nightshade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Important to remember.
Acorns land on the parking lot. Yeah.
The squirrel.
The
squirrel. Sorry, before I forget, the squirrel has the most food. You follow his trail to an old car, an old outhouse, an old barn, and he'll be storing all the nuts there for you, eggs, apples, you name it. He has it. So not only do you whack him and eat him, but you take his stash too. And that's number one. You'll see a little trail, looks like a little road. Just be careful and watch, right? Watch where he's going and follow it and look around and find that log. I'm telling you, that's the best forage is right there because all the nuts, all the tannins are off the nuts already and they're already to eat. So,
in California, at the property where my wife's still at, got a lot of squirrels in the neighborhood.
Good eating. Yep.
Pros. However, we found where most of them are going to.
Yeah.
And they're up in the tops of the palm trees.
Yep. Storage area.
I hate to tell you, but even when I was younger, you ain't getting me to climb no friggin' palm tree. I tried it once, and the elderberry trees, No, the box elder. The box elder trees. They're up in the tops of the box elder trees, and the it's a type of juniper tree bush, tall ones, they're way up there, and they have nests up in the top of that.
Yeah. Yeah. The big thing to remember are nests, not just the squirrel, but crow's nest. They'll have forks, knives, spoons, watches, gold rings, all kinds of goodies to trade, hey? And things you can utilize in a crow's nest.
Emerald pendants.
Yes, anything that's shiny that you put down, even food, they'll take it there, bones, whatever. And it's interesting because you can find them when all the leaves fall off in the fall. Write it down in your little notepad where you've seen that squirrel going up into that hollow log or up into that palm tree. Write it down because you're not going to remember when you're tired and hungry and beat up and left for dead, okay? You need to know in that notebook and look at that and write it in the dates and times that you've seen it harvested there, what was in that local area. Like when I go out, I don't need the book, okay, to write in. I know what's in my neighborhood because I do a daily walk every day, 1 square kilometer around from the food forest and see what's going on in people's property, get to know people. You'd be amazed what's in the backyard. Right?
Well, one of the things interesting is across the street and back in California there are 5 or 6 black walnut trees. Now, Pacific Gas and Electric comes by and trims the top so they don't get up in the electrical lines. And the city comes along, trims the side on the street side. But the neighbor, Jim over there, Jim neighbor, it grows out into his thing, and he lets it grow out over his property just to shade his little horses he has. He has the Shetland horses, and he's got goats, and he's got sheep out there. And so it shades them. But which is fine because the goats and the sheep eat some of the black walnuts fall down and get rid of all the worms and stuff they have. But the squirrels are constantly raiding those trees, bringing them back across the phone lines and power lines to our side of the street. My wife pulls up probably 10, 12 black walnut trees out of her raised garden beds every spring.
Yeah. Plant edible landscapes like a food forest. Encourage your neighbors to do the same thing. Make trees and bushes and shrubs that gives food and give it to them as gifts and go along for the planting. And start with your streetscapes. That's what I did. I changed the entire streetscapes here. I met everybody that was, half-assed with not so many mental health issues. It's difficult to get people to do things with mental health issues because the first thing they do go, well, that'll bring rats, or they become negative towards what you're doing. And so they have depression, severe. So what you want to do, it'll be about 50% of the people be receptive. So what you want to do is organize like-minded people like yourself. And then you can start changing the landscape. Like when you put a tree out on the street, there's going to be critters, right? Like deer. So what you want to do is you want to plant one that's at least 6-7 feet tall that the deer can't get at. You're smarter than the deer. That's all you got to remember.
Yeah, one of the comments there that Juju made about the black walnut for syrup.
Yeah,
Anthony at Pimento Prepared.
That's a great
yesterday
channel.
or the day before showed how to make a black walnut tincture.
Mm-hmm. That's for worms, man. That's for parasites and worms, dude.
Yeah,
I do that too. I've got one of those. I just got a black hawthorn berries in vinegar made by a friend of mine. And they brought it over. It was quite a gift to give me. I'll get it and show it to you. It's just right here.
Yeah. See how you should have known to eat before this thing started, because I put the link out there. Put it out there this morning.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, hang on. Let me make you big.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. You know what it's for?
Nope.
To lower your blood pressure.
Ah.
And it does it fast. You put a couple of bay leaves in there too, and just let it sit for a bit, and then just drink it. If you got high blood pressure, boom, it just drops. Eh?
Nice.
and it's a powerful anthocyanins in there as well.
All right, Kaylin says,
dilating your
did we all freeze there for a second? Looked like it.
But
all right,
hey,
Kaylin says,
sorry. There was someone commented a little while ago that they don't eat tiger lilies or woodland lilies and stuff. There's only one lily that you can't eat, and that's the white one. I just wanted to say that because there's a little misinformation going on there. Right?
Yeah.
I hope that's all good.
Tip Top Girl asks a question here for those that know. What time of year do you tap a walnut tree?
You don't.
To make the walnut syrup.
Well, there's several ways to do that, and you can tap one, but also the husk is what you want, is the husk off the walnut. That's
the part that's really hard to peel off.
Well, what you do is you bash it. When it's fresh and young, you bash it, and it'll just fall apart, and just take the husk. It's the husk that has the ingredient. That what you want, and you can tap it, I guess. I'm not too sure on that, but I do know that the husk is what's desired.
Yeah. Hey, Cindy.
Hey, Cindy Squirrel.
Yes, always winter, spring for any tree tapping. When it warms up during the day, by 1 o'clock, she's pouring. Any deciduous will give you something to utilize to cook down for sugar. But the coolest thing I've ever seen for sugar was the conifer trees in August for 3 days secrete blocks about this big of sugar when it hits 85 degrees. Okay. So it secretes sugar for protection so it doesn't cook the leaf. And that was a huge thing for First Nations here. And the camas bulb, or quamash it was called, and it's 45% sugar. When cooked, it was traded all the way to Florida to Saskatchewan. They had trails to trade this. This is called camas bulb, and if you could put a few in your garden, you can buy them online, and then it multiplies by itself. Hey, looks after itself. But that bulb can be mistaken for the death camas bulb, which is white, flowered, creamy colored, and you will die. There is no cure from that. Hey, your brain cooks. Hey. So you better know what you're doing when you're coming to,
I like birch jujube, and birch beer is probably one of my favorite sodas.
That's healthy for you, hey, that birch oils.
Yeah. Now, last week, I can't remember which channel, which homesteading channel it was I was watching, but they did a video on sorghum harvesting. Now, if you ever see a sorghum plant, it looks like a little bamboo, sugar cane thing about as big around as my little finger. And that's it, but it's tall. And the cows like it. The pigs like it. But they were harvesting it, and they harvest the seeds off it, cut the top off, and then they fed the rest of it. They basically they run it through, it smashes it up, squeezes all the juice out of it, and they're harvesting the sorghum syrup from it. For you can boil it down and make regular syrup and stuff.
Now I am not an expert like Howie is, and I don't trust him.
I'm not.
So I plant my own things that I would like to have. Like I have golden seal, valerian root, ginseng. I have all that wild mint in my food forest. Like I plant all those things inside my food forest as well. And then I know they're over there. So I'm not confusing them with something else. I knew I planted it myself.
That's key.
So.
Yeah, there's no monkeying around then.
Yeah, because I don't quite trust myself. And you can even mess up with wild onions and stuff like that. So I just don't.
Yeah, the nodding onion and stuff. You got to be careful of wild garlics and stuff. You better know what you're doing. You better do some research.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And so let me throw this back up here real quick here.
Go to the old age home. Find out the plant lover in there and forage lover. Be his friend and visit him every day. Take him for walks. You'll learn a ton.
All right. So yeah, and until you find one of those, there's some books here you can do some research on, and you also get the ones for your local area as well.
You okay there?
Yeah, Gil's funny until you find one of those.
Yeah, until you find one of those expert foragers, read up.
Well, Tammy from Rebel Canners is a really good forager. Like I trust what she.
Yeah.
I really trust what she would pick, and she's really good at mushrooms and stuff. She's taking classes though. She's,
Yeah, there's only a few mushrooms that are edible anyway. The rest nobody knows about.
Yeah.
There's 200,000 types of mycelium popping out. So what's what? Just stick to the basics like chanterelles, shaggy manes, puffballs, pine mushrooms.
And I think morels are pretty.
Morels are the first to come out in April.
They're pretty they're recognizable. So.
Well, there is a false morel too. Hey, that is poisonous. So you do know. But you see, what happens is your natural instinct takes over too. And believe it or not, I've tested a lot of my students over the years, okay? And I would take them out into the parks and forests, and I'd ask them, what do you think of this? And it was a Hooker's Fairy Bell that I was pointing out. And my guy's like, he's like, no, I wouldn't eat that. And I'm like, absolutely you wouldn't. And then we found some wild tiger lilies. And I said, what do you think about these? And this guy doesn't know a thing about plants. He's like, I would eat them. And every time he was smack on, because you have this internal mechanism that can identify that, just like a deer. A deer knows not to eat certain plants because he can't digest them and they're toxic. Smell.
Yeah.
There's a channel that I follow.
Yeah.
That's in northern Ohio. Shit Happens. And he just finally he's been he hadn't put out videos for a little bit. He put out one today. He was talking about the weather up there in northern Ohio and the rain and stuff. And they haven't been getting as much rain as normally, but for some reason the less amount of rain they got made all the mushrooms and everything else just go friggin' bonkers.
I have them all. I have mushrooms all over my backyard.
Which ones?
We were walking the other day in the park. And I've never seen so many mushrooms in my entire life. I had no idea what they were.
Well, they're all edible once, Corky.
Yeah. I knew, we were surrounded by trees, like oak trees, hard trees.
You got something there. At an oak tree, there's truffles, okay? Yeah. You will get truffles at oak trees. And you need oak trees, the mycelium coming off it. Now, just think about this. Mushrooms are the flowers of mycelium, okay? So once you start hanging out, like I hung out with this old lady and this old man when I was a kid, and they used to drag me around to all the, they would eat everything from alder bark for this, that ailment and whatever, right? But believe it or not, the crap worked. The one guy, he was given a diagnosis and all this crap. That's as much as I can say. Anyway, he self-indulged in this certain tree when he scraped the bark going down the cambium, not up. He didn't want to throw up. He wanted to keep it down. He had all these psychological things that he would use for foraging his food and medicine, right? And he was incredible. He survived some really incredible stuff that most people don't. So kudos to him. He was half Nutchel native and half Spanish or something, But he had an incredible mind for. I met him on a trail. He was gathering mint, wild artichokes and mint, and he was boiling it up. And I seen him going on his bicycles. I dropped my fishing pole. I was catching steelhead in the river. And I start running after him. What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you got on the back of that bicycle? And he's like, oh, what's my mint for my minty potatoes in the basket? And he called it potatoes, but they were sunchokes, Yeah. And it was up halfway up Vancouver Island. And I was just a kid. But I had to know what he was doing, right? So after that, I went foraging with him. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's important to find someone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's part of my October 1st day. I'm going here. I'm going to live outside and forage, and I'm going to pretend that there's been an earthquake. And I'm just going to, I've got all my food stored by the door here. See?
Nice.
See, there's my onions, garlic, shallots, squash. Some of my squash are 30 pounders, 25 pounders. But the idea is, can I survive outside for the winter? Hey? I can always just go inside too if I get too cold.
Yeah.
But I'm going to really give it a good try. Hey.
All right, guys. I need to take a quick break here to give away another Amazon gift card. All right, so bring this up here. All right, hit the shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
This is great.
And I have not seen anybody join tonight, so I don't have to add their names to there. As you know, I haven't seen anybody joining, so $5 gift card.
That's right, Brenda. That's right, Duncan. Yep.
All right. Star Homestead, India.
I didn't see him.
I haven't seen Star in the chat yet. Has anybody seen Star?
Mm-mm.
I'm going to do a search here just to see if he's. Nope, not coming up. So I haven't seen Star. But we'll give him 30 seconds here to type in case he's just been lurking, not saying anything. But Star is usually pretty good at saying hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came around for a while there, and then that was a couple months ago, and then I haven't seen him since. I go to his videos and watch him. He's collecting eggs and showing which ones are what, and it's quite a bit of a science experiment that he's got going on there. And and he belongs to, I think it's some growing challenge or something like that.
Speaking of eggs, my turkey hatched one baby chick today.
Nice.
I saw that picture.
That's a $50 bill, hey, where I come from.
She's so stinking cute. And we had to capture her so we could keep her safe because she, for some reason, thought it was cool to hatch her egg in my lemon balm.
Oh.
It must.
Okay, so hang on. So Joe gifted 2 memberships. That's right. Kathy, let me see if I can put on. Kathy Salton D got one of the memberships, I believe.
And so did Shawnee Shep.
And Shawnee. Okay, so let me add those 2 to the list here. Enter Kathy's.
Yeah, I kind of feel alone. Maybe I should buy a membership, but I don't even know how.
And Shawnee.
Give me one, please.
S-H-A.
I'm foraging now.
Shawnee. I'll just put it W. Okay. So, all right, got him on there. So I'm going to shuffle. All right. And let's try this again since Star's not here.
Well, Prepper 101 said he had a parole hearing. I don't believe that, though.
No.
I think it's some kind of joke because he's not a criminal, that guy.
No, he's a goofball.
Well, that's okay. At least you said goofball, not goof.
Okay, Rachel Knight. I haven't seen Rachel in here yet either.
Mm-mm.
No.
Of course, now that she's on the East Coast, she may be going to bed when this comes on. When she was in Hawaii, it was in the middle of the day for her. Okay, let me double check here. I'm going to do the search on it. At RA. Nope, she's not popping up. All right, so let me go ahead and close that and shuffle it again and try to give away another $5 Amazon gift card.
It was nice of Joe to give away 2 memberships, hey? He's a nice fellow.
Hey, Jay. Maybe. Is it? Oh, it's still going.
Is it? Yeah, Jay.
Hey.
Jay, are you still here?
I think so. He was here earlier.
Yeah, I know he was here earlier. He was making some jokes and jabs too. But Jay, are you still here?
Jujubee, we all know you're a hardened criminal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's my leading statement too, for sure. You know you did it. Just admit it.
All right, Jay.
I love going to see my lawyer. Hey, he's a really mean bastard. I just love him.
All right, Jay. Did you duck out after the first one was given away?
I think he might be gone.
Yeah, I think he may be gone. Let me see if he's still showing up here.
Busted.
No, he was here 15 minutes ago because his name still pops up.
Maybe he's gone out for a bit or something, or
He's out probably arguing with Mother Nature.
It's good to know, Kaylin.
a clean driving record.
She doesn't have a driving record at all.
I never ever did. I never had a record either, but I developed glaucoma and I'm not allowed to drive.
It gives you another 30 seconds there.
Man. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Joe. It's true. You're a reasonable guy.
No sign of Jay.
Oh.
All right. We're coming up on time here.
I've never got a speeding ticket. I've never had
10,
anything.
9, 8.
It was a real bummer. I could have renewed my license. I just had to lie, and I just couldn't bloody do it. Just don't tell them about the glaucoma.
All right. Jay's out of here. We're going to shift in. Well, all right. One time I was speeding, doing 120 miles an hour, and I had 2 sheriffs and 4 highway patrol behind me, but they were my backup. I was on duty. All right. Let's try it again.
How long are you going tonight for, Gil?
Until everyone says they've had enough.
Okay.
And okay, Rachel Knight's not here. All right, she's not here. Let me just go ahead and remove her this time. Remove her and shuffle. And we're going to try it again here.
I don't even want to talk about speeding tickets. It's bad juju.
Subliminal.
I don't have any wood to knock on.
I do.
All right, Jay's not here, so we're going to
How many times can you
remove
say?
Jay. I should have
I think
removed
it's
it.
rigged. Gil's rigged. Yeah.
Rigged.
Yeah, rigged.
I know. I haven't won once.
See you, Captain.
All right, see you later, Steve. Corsair Trainer's sliding out.
I'm a member of his other channel. I'm giving him a hard time. Where did my wrench go? Gil demoted me. Oh, sorry, Juju B.
That fellow won earlier.
Yeah, failing one again. So let's see.
He's like, I'm here.
Oh, look at that fly, hey? He's chewing on me.
And yeah, he's here.
Oh, buddy.
All right. I will be
away.
sending. I'm going to put failing down for another 5.
He's dead, see? Tried to get away.
You gave him one last meal?
Yeah, see? He tried to get away, and I caught him mid-flight. See him? There's the
Alrighty.
body. PETA's going to be after me now. I eat raw carrots. I crushed them alive with my teeth.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I remember the one time, Steph, Idle Garden Girl was hitting it, bam, 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 on both channels. For that time.
Somebody was collecting all yours, and they had like $80 worth of gift certificates.
I won Grub Boots a couple months ago, and I won them twice. I'm like, does that mean I get 2 pairs? But no, they just sent the 1 pair. But I won it twice, and then this one lady was there, and she started swearing in the chat, effing this and effing that. And I'm like, well, you should change your name to my name and grab a She was pissed, man. She was mad as hell. I didn't know. I was just having fun, right?
Dawn, Working at the jail doesn't count.
Yes, it doesn't count.
I've never been to jail either. Of course, I haven't done anything wrong either. So maybe I should do something wrong and cause some action. My buddy, the bandit, was here today. That was fun seeing him. Now, that guy can forage. He's a scrounger, man. He can get anything. He's super intelligent. He can climb any building with bare hands and feet. No, it's just incredible to see this guy work. Thank God I've known him all my life.
Okay. What else can we talk about for foraging that people should know about?
I don't know, but I have mullein seeds. I'm going to put those in my food forest.
Oh, yeah, that's your toilet paper. Oh, yeah, and also a decongestant. When you smoke, it blows all the boogers out. I have that lined the front of the food forest. I have
nice.
Huge,
does it require full sun?
It helps, but it's not. No, you can have partial.
Okay.
Yeah, the big thing to remember about it, that's your torch, hey?
Yeah.
You cut it off on the bottom, and then the top part, you just put any kind of grease or oil on it and hit the bick to it. Boom, you got a torch, and it's a monstrous torch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Juby's saying here. I just got a notice from back in California where my wife lives. The city of Concord, Pittsburgh, Brentwood, and Antioch. They're spraying the malathion for the mosquitoes because they found it. They found one bird.
Good microbes, hey. If there's no mosquitoes and no microbes on this planet, you won't exist, hey.
Yeah.
So keep killing your off and roundups and bullshit.
It was like known a while back that some of that mosquito spray can cause breast cancer.
DDT is the worst.
So why are they still doing it?
Money, Corky. It's all money. There's no love when it comes to money. I want your money. Everybody figures they own someone else's money. That's crazy. I don't try to own the planet. I belong here, so I'm going to belong to it. So I'm much happier.
Cindy, I planted comfrey over the summer underneath my plum trees.
I like what Brenda said. Don't wipe your butt with a mullein. Your lungs need it more.
Absolutely. And Brenda's absolutely right. If you have mucus problems and, go see your doctor, of course. But if you can't get to a doctor after SHTF, I think it's pretty safe to go ahead and blow a doobie of mullein dock. Of course, others will be smoking other things.
Hey, I got a question.
Uh-huh.
And Howie might know the answer.
Saffron root.
What about moonflower?
I wouldn't touch it. It's dangerous. It's part of ayahuasca, though. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. That can make you go loco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but some people do.
It's really good for your lungs, though.
Yeah, there are. You know what? If only the past 100 years the pharmaceuticals have come about. Before then, you went to see the old lady with the cauldron at the end of town. She had a fire pit and a bunch of stuff hanging there. She had a bone through her nose and a bone in her ear and a bag of herbs. That's what you did. That's what you did. They were called midwives and stuff,
What, cauldron, you said?
Yeah, exactly. I could show you the same thing for real, dude. I got a nice one, eh?
We had, it was probably about a 30-gallon cauldron for our haunted house.
Yeah, very cool. Kathy D says, what do you use comfrey for, Corky? Let her have it, Corky.
As fertilizer, and you can put it on your skin for broken bones and
a salve.
Yeah. But then, I don't know. Some people say you can drink it. I'm not into that. But some people you can drink it, but then other people say you can't. So what's the deal with that?
Eat it fresh is what I do. But you know what? The plant itself is known as a mineralizer. So it takes vital minerals from the ground and brings them to the surface. and other trees do that too, like fig trees. They're powerful mineralizers. And then there's like mountain ash that actually put the nitrogen in nodules and like a whole bunch. It looks like a bunch of grapes, really. And they're found every day. There's a new nitrogen fixer found. They just found one in Mexico. And it's a corn. It's a type of corn, and the root system comes out, and the corn's growing. Okay, but some of the roots secrete pure nitrogen. These microbes come along and devour it and make it usable for the other plants. So now you don't have to fertilize the corn no more. So they're doing hybrids of this corn. It was just found a few months ago in Mexico.
Wow, that's really good to know.
I know it's brand new, but every day there's a new nitrogen fixer that's found on this planet that people did not know before.
The comfrey is the one that sticks around. Like it sticks around in my area. Like I can't grow comfrey all year round. You know? Yeah.
The thing about comfrey is once you've planted it, you've got it for the rest of your life, and you must utilize it in a chop and drop and a tea. Okay, them are the two important things to remember. And each time you chop that root underground, you got 20 more coming up. Or if you want to move it around, like it's good to move them to where there's apple trees and plant them all underneath the drip line. Okay. So those leaves, go by there 2 or 3 times in the summer and chop them all down, and they go down and they start building the soil, and then the soil breaks down and starts feeding that apple tree, and you get these beautiful apples.
I had beautiful apples this year. I couldn't believe it. Not from my comfrey, but just in general.
Everybody got apples this year.
Yeah, it was great.
What the heck is that? Are we getting healthier bee populations? Maybe?
I think so, because a lot of people are paying attention. They're like, okay, well, I'm not spraying my yard anymore.
Well, people aren't using DE anymore either. Because it was killing the bees.
I don't know, but we picked 100 pounds of apples this year. I couldn't believe it.
Same here. I bought in hundreds of pounds to the mobile food bank. It got so much at the last time I was there, nobody wanted them anymore. I had to leave 100 pounds sitting on the ground for deer. Just dumped them on the ground. Nobody wanted them.
Yeah.
But you know what? You try to tell them, look, save your jars. You tell them, save your jars. Fill your jar, put it in the freezer. You always got a jar of applesauce in the freezer.
Yeah.
Whenever you have excess, make pickles, make jams, jellies, and freezer ones. You don't necessarily have to do the canning. The canning is a little bit of work. You don't have to do that. I love putting stuff in the freezer. I love things to go in vinegar and salt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. On one of the comments here about that was about Google essential oils for insect repellents. And so from Healthline has 10 ingredients that natural ingredients that do it: lemon, eucalyptus oil, cinnamon oil, thyme oil, neem oil. I know lemongrass, certain mints will repel them. Citronella, of course. If you, my wife actually grows citronella, in her garden there.
Lemon balm is a form of mint, and like you can take lemon balm and rub it all over you, and the mosquitoes don't like it. But I don't know if this is true or not, but they say people that have a specific blood type, the mosquitoes go after you more, and I am one of those blood types.
You're a meat eater. You're a meat eater. They go after meat eaters.
Yeah, I am a meat eater.
Yeah. If you're a meat eater and you don't want the flies around you, don't open your mouth.
Ew.
Because that's where you're giving off the pheromone, right? And that's why they attack you. Like I was eating a piece of bone meat. I make bone broth, and I was eating it earlier, and I never get bitten by mosquitoes. And I just had one on my arm here, and I showed it to you, But same with wasps. Wasps go after meat eaters. The pheromones you're giving off. Same with animals. Like if a bear is going to attack you, you're showing anger pheromones or fear pheromones. See.
So Anthony Pimento prepared. These are two of his latest videos. The herbal medicine for the black walnuts talks about that, and then mosquito repellent, scent-free, chemical-free from Beauty Berry.
Mm-hmm. The Beauty Berry, yeah.
I got a question about the black walnuts, though.
Yeah.
Because they are a natural dewormer. Are you going to poop yourself?
No, he makes a tincture out of it. He takes the husk, crushes it up, and does a 2-to-1 solution, if I remember the video right, of alcohol. And puts the stuff in there weight wise, 2-to-1 weight wise.
Oh, okay.
Of the husk and the alcohol, puts it in there and lets it sit for like 10 days.
So you're only getting a little bit at a time.
And then you drain it off, screen it off, and put it in one of those little bottles that has an eyedropper, and you just use a couple drops.
Yeah, you don't use much. The thing to remember, Corky, is that when you're using black walnut husk, the husk oil itself, now there's 100 trillion organisms inside you. Okay, so you're targeting the parasites, not just the worms. There are many other parasites too, and you're targeting them with that black walnut husk oil. That's what you're doing. And like Gil said, just a little drop, not very much. But the thing is, you're targeting that. Now, what about the rest of them that you don't want, like mold, yeast, and fungus? Well, they feed off of sugar. That not so much necessarily carbs. Carbs are a dirty fuel that the mitochondria can't bring into the powerhouse of the cell. So that being said and done, when you do black walnut husk oil, it is a magnificent thing to do. And this is the killer part. Do you go to the bathroom? Hell yeah, you go to the bathroom.
I figured since it was a dewormer, I would figure that you're going to the bathroom a lot.
Well, worms hang out in your digestive tract and where poop comes out. That's where they hang out.
That's gross.
Yeah. It is gross. I mean, I'm not here to talk about gross stuff. I'm just here to, if you're foraging like Anthony's doing there, that's perfect. He's doing it nice and scientifically. He's very smart. Me, I just say it. I don't, it's a little different. But if you look at my forage videos, there's several hundred there, and that'll give you some idea. I know you grow a lot of food, but there's a lot of food there as well to share with others, and they don't know. So after SHTF, you got to look after your village, right?
Yeah.
Your community, your people, the like-minded people, especially the like-minded ones. The ones that you don't care for, you don't have to look after, but look after the women and kids. And then men, they're on their bloody own. That's the way I look at it. You got to be tough enough to look after yourself if you're a man. But, that's what a man was used for. He protected the cave while the women, looked after the kids. That's you're going back to paleo ways.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. So I'm putting the links out here to those 2 videos from Anthony at Pimento Prepared. So there they are, the 2 of them. If anybody wants to go check them out. Anthony has some really good stuff. He makes a lot of good tinctures. And then he also has a lot of great bread recipes, pizza dough recipes.
Yeah. It's ideal to find someone like-minded in your locale. Okay. And me, I had a lot of mentors over the years, so I can walk out into the forest, not necessarily the forest that's in the city, but in the wilds. And I might have a hard time, but I'm pretty sure I'd survive too, because I know the seasons. And the thing to remember is not everything's going to be ready all at once.
Yeah.
When you're picking blackberries, you pick the first crop. So the next crop that comes ripe, they're not going to be moldy. And you pick the red ones with the green ones and the black ones. You pick them all when SHTF comes. You don't leave nothing for something else or someone else. And I learned that from the native people when I was a kid on the West Coast. When they went picking, they took everything because it's a simple fact that they needed it. And it won't be coming back. There was no time to come back. So you have to take, when you're blackberry picking, and bring your pruners, okay? When you're blackberry picking, you don't want all those prickles. There was one person on here said, I used a tong to pick blackberries. I mean, how tedious is that? Come on, grab a pair of pruners, snip, snip, snip. The thorny bush that was in the way, now you can pick your blackberries, okay? It's very smart thing to do. And a digging stick with like a little spade on it for roots and tubers and rhizomes. You know, there's a lot of them that are edible. It's not just herbaceous that we're looking at, but underground food, on the ground food, and food that grows in the trees. Now that people have been planting kiwi and grapes all over the place in North America, they'll grow wild on rocks and in trees. I've been walking through a forest of alders, and I'm looking at these huge gobs of Thompson seedless green grapes. And I'm like, how the hell do I get them? Okay. I cut down one of the alder trees, down come the grapes. But the thing is, I remembered next year I went back there. There were still bunches growing all over the place. So I just brought a ladder with me. But note where you get your forage food from, whether it's from a food bank, a neighbor's pantry that passed away, you know, during the pandemic, whatever the hell it is, you got to secure everything. So salt, vinegar are your best friends. And when you buy a squash at the store, save those seeds and buy all the different kind of squash. You got all the seeds. And when May 24th long weekend comes, make a mound of leaves and grass and goopity gobs and whatever compost you got. Make a mound and sew that mound up, because you only got to water that mound. And when you make the mound, most people think they're making a mound like this, right? No, you're making a mound like this, and then it goes in like that. You see? So the water sits in here. See?
Sort of like one of those sponge cakes for strawberry shortcake. Has a high lip on it and sinks down in the middle to hold all the strawberry mix.
That's it. And when you have the squash growing, you're king of the squash, okay? Because the simple fact that you start hardening them off, and you have all the food. And if you live by the ocean or not far from the ocean, you have a steady supply of food from seaweed, clams, mussels, oysters, limpets on the rock. Don't eat the purple green ones. You're going to get a nice psychedelic buzz. I got to tell you this funny thing. All these prisoners were down by the seashore every day at this place where we were teaching people to grow, right? And they're all like whacked out of their tree. And the guy that's running the joint, he's like, what the hell's this? And I'm like, well, they're eating those purple green ones there. So then they had them all scraped off the rocks, and the prisoners couldn't get them no more. But they were getting ripped on these, you know. But all limpets, you put them on a hook, throw it out on the bottom and leave it there, you'll catch a small fish. Okay, great. Now let that small fish go with the hook. Catches a bigger fish. I just taught this to Brun Free, my friend in Australia, and she's like, oh, she catches little whitings, right? And I said, oh no, you just let them go back out. She says, oh, I can't wait to go back and try it, right? But you always catch the small fish and then let that one go to attract a bigger fish. It's not legal in a lot of places, but hey, when there's SHTF, I don't wear no glove. I'm not going to be soft. I'm going to be harsh. Yeah. And I know that sounds mean, but you know what? When it's SHTF, you're going to be dealing with people that are not of your like-mindedness, and they're hungry, or they're injured, or they're sick.
Well, one of the things talking about fishing there, you know, a lot of people, there are a lot of people who've never touched a fishing rod, don't know even how to fish. Well, the surprise on their face when you tell them, go walk down to, like, go to Walmart or Big Five or something, go down to where they got all back in the sporting goods stuff, where they got all the fishing poles and stuff. And there, you know, I was back there with one time, and he goes, why is there a metal fish here painted all up with all these hooks on it? Because the big fish think that's a little appetizer. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I love fishing. I do all kinds of fishing every way you could possibly think of. I'll even fish with a drone one day. Catch right fish and bring it back. I know I will. I know it's going to happen for me. I'll make sure.
I'm not saying who did it. It wasn't me, but somebody got hold of the real M80 quarter stick of dynamite ones.
I'll do it.
Stunned a bunch of fish. They came to, they were grabbing as fast as they could. All of a sudden, the fish wake up, and the rest of them start swimming, but they've already caught a bunch into and put them into their net thing.
Yeah, yeah. The big thing to remember, there's crayfish wherever anybody lives on this planet, okay, and shrimp. And to make a small trap out of a milk jug, put a little hole in or a few other little holes, put a piece of bait in there tied to it. It's pretty easy. Check it every 15 minutes, pull it up. Same with a crab trap. I mean, how many people got coat hangers out there and a screen of some kind, you know, and tie some bait to it, put it down there. You don't want necessarily going to trap them inside a trap. It's just they're going to come on top of it, and then you just pull it up because they're attached. You don't want to keep it simple, something you can hide and throw away. The big thing to remember about SHTF, okay, stay invisible. Stay invisible. Your ghillie suit should be a gum wrapper there, a garbage bag there, pop can there, a crappy diaper stuck to your leg. You stink and you're on the side of the road and throw some dirt on you. You look like just a pile of rubbish. That's number one. Nobody wants to deal with a guy that's dirty and stinky. They don't want nothing to do with them. So just you're smarter than most people when it comes to SHTF. You have to be smarter than the animals and the plants. You have to thrive if you're going to survive. That's the key. You have to thrive. You can't start losing a bunch of weight. You can't start losing your muscle mass. You can't stop thinking. Breathing, circular breathing, will take on a whole new meaning for you to understand how to deal with your environment. Breathe in through your nose. When you think you filled up your lung, fill it up some more. And then when you think you filled it up fully, think not and go. And then go.
Yeah.
Big, huge, deep breath. Go, oh, all of a sudden I'm grounded and I can think better. Oh, that's interesting to know. But no, there's a few things to remember. Calm, cool, collective, the 3 C's. Look, listen, and learn, the 3 L's. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Get out your notebook in case the law shows up. This is what happened. Get your camera, video, whatever. Because when it's SHTF, there's going to be a lot of law breaking. You can bet on it. Look what happened in Louisiana when the floods happened. Look what happened there. People fed off each other, man. And there was so many crimes against children and old people, man. It was incredible that people fed off those other people. Like, I've read a lot of stories about it, and I knew a couple people, not personally, but some people that knew people. And if you have an SHTF, you must secure the women and children first. That's so important because they become a target. Okay.
Well, not to disagree here, but I don't have to worry about securing my wife. The staff sergeant's going to be out there rocking and rolling.
She'll double tap for sure. I have no doubt.
No, one shot. She's a one shot, one kill, just like my boys. One shot, one kill.
You know what? That's important because not everybody nice, man. 50% good and 50% bad. Okay, we got them numbers down. Now you got SHTF. 99.9% ain't right in the head anymore.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, because they're all in their heads about they don't have their cell phone, they don't have their computer, they don't have their donuts, they don't have their coffee, they don't have. So they're all in their head. They're all freaking out. What are they going to do?
They are suffering from multiple withdrawals.
Yeah.
Caffeine, coffee withdrawal, electronic, withdrawal from the electronic images and stuff. They're suffering withdrawals from a lot of things, and they're just, going off the deep end. Now, one of the things about everything we've talked about here tonight, practice. Go out there and start foraging now, learning it. Because if you wait until SHTF or Tawaki happens, and you go out there and suddenly you're doing a big change to your diet, you've never had some of this stuff before, you don't have to have that. Have the black walnut stuff. It's going to happen to you anyways.
Prep. Yeah. Try it, like you said, man. If you're trying something new and you're not used to it, you got stomach cramps now to deal with. Not only do you have depression, or you, like Corky said, you don't have your cell phone, and my dental appointment I'm gonna miss. Have I ever told you about my box of toothbrushes? Okay, I have a box of hemp branches that I just chew on. a little bit. And there's my toothbrush. Throw it away. Everybody goes and they get their little toothbrush and they go, great, great. Then they put it back in there. Do you know how much crap and some microbes are on that? No. Take the piece of hemp stick, chew on it, put a little baking soda in there. That's all I do. And I got perfect teeth. Less than a couple, but hey, I wasn't that good of a fighter. But hey, that's what the natives did too. Certain roots, like a licorice fern, that was to clean their teeth, and then when they ate wild strawberries, that was a natural teeth cleaner. And when you eat strawberries or lemons, make sure you drink a little water because you lose that first coating of enamel. Hey, you need to clean your mouth, and swishing water around in your mouth and using just even a piece of cast line or anything to get into the little grooves and little toothpick. Make your own little toothpicks and clean your mouth. Don't stab yourself, you get an infection. These are problems that people don't understand, that there's no more toothpaste. There's no more toothbrush clean. You put that filthy toothbrush in your mouth and you're just putting in microbes that you're not used to. And like Gil's saying, you're putting something in your belly you're not used to. You're going to have some serious mother humping issues, dude. Like, it's nothing worse than having dysentery or cholera or drinking water that has giardia or microsporidia in it, or digging in the soil and Cryptococcus gattii gets in your little nick and all of a sudden you got flesh-eating disease. You don't know what the hell to do because there's no doctor. Okay, so now you got to look after yourself. So you bloody well better do some learning in a big hurry if you don't know what to do. Hang out with the old people and quit putting them in old age homes. Bring them home with you. They know what to do. Yeah. That's my rant for the night.
Yeah.
A good one. This is a great live stream. I got to come over here more often. Hey, send me that link every time you go live, eh?
Yeah. Well, actually, all right. Let me put some news out here real quick here, and we can continue on here just for those, because I know some people have gone out, others coming back in.
I need my programming.
So, I may try to do the midnight ride this Thursday, but Friday night on the homestead over on Camp Patton Family Compound, my other channel. Mm-hmm. How do you relax? You're talking about your mental health and stuff like that, so you don't get stressed out over myself.
Everything, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then take time out every day.
Yeah. Saturday on Survival Saturday, back here on GrayManPrepping. The topic is Emergency Preparedness Month. We're halfway through the month, and we're going to be talking about what have you done during an Emergency Preparedness Month to get yourself better prepared. Monday on the Monday Night Fireside Chat on Camp Patton Family Compound is going to be just open chat, whatever's on your mind. I'm going to open the panel up to a lot of people to come on up here, and we're just going to talk about stuff. Next Tuesday, back here again. Lamp oils versus solar lights. Now, this is going to be interesting because over the last several years, my experience with dealing with all the new technologies and stuff, my mind has grown. My opinion is changing on some of these things. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Oil lamps versus solar lights and solar chargers and stuff like that. All right, so that's what's coming up for the next week. And I just want to reiterate going back to the topic of foraging and everything else. Howie does this a lot. He sows a food forest wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Talks about just tosses out seeds around your area, at your local park. If they're not spraying everything all the time, good. Throw out some sunflower seeds.
Yes, squash is number one. It's timing. Sunflower is just after the squash. You're absolutely right. Especially near the sprinkler head, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Spike the place. But the big thing is get to know your local vegetation department in your municipality or your county, and get to know the guys that are out there on the vegetation department. and asked them, like, you guys spraying? Do you put up signs? Because a good friend of mine, Mrs. V, she was foraging for Claytonia, miner's lettuce. And too bad for her, there was a BTK on it. And she was sick for like 3 years. And they had sprayed the area for the sort of the gypsy moth. And she went along and just ate Claytonia is miner's lettuce. It's beautiful to eat. The only problem is that it had that BTK on it. Yeah. And she got sick. The doc said that's why. And
yeah. Oh. Kaylin, we expect to see videos from the multicultural powwow.
Oh,
yeah, and that's the thing, when you're talking to the people from the Parks District and stuff.
Yep.
Especially if you can get, find out if they're not spraying and stuff. Tell them you want to plant natural lettuces, and I know in California, miner's lettuce is very common. It's a natural wild lettuce. You can get seeds for it. Tell them you want to plant that, and let them know what you're planting, where you're planting.
Go to your council meetings. Go and tell them. Find out who's on the committee for that, and say this is what I want done. So now they're spending $20 million here in my city of Victoria to plant trees that are native. Okay.
Nice.
So I went right away. I want to see Oregon grape, Mahoney aquilofolia. I want to see black huckleberry. I want to see red huckleberry. I want to see vaxium, all the wild blueberries. They're like, well, no, we're not doing any of that. That attracts bears. I'm like, I don't care about the bear. I'll eat them. Now start planting. No. It was a no-go. So you know what I did? Every time I get a chance, I plant something on my boulevard, in my park. And until I get caught and chewed out and spit out, which I've been before, I don't care. I don't care about their bull ass, I'm just going to do it. I got to look after my village. And if I got to depend on someone that's going to be argumentative and disruptive and say, oh, well, we don't want that because there's a bear coming. Give me a break.
Yeah, you're gonna have the bear work its way to the inner city to go for a tree. Nope, not gonna happen.
Yeah. It's hard to get through people with mental health, and I don't mean to say a certain group or anything, but there's a certain group that wants it their way, and your way doesn't mean crap. Well, the thing is, they'll catch up to you or they don't. Just look after your own street, your own backyard, your own front yard, your own neighbor's yard. Look after your village, and you'll become richer because you get out there. You get a better mental health through the social aspect. But always go to your council meetings. Yesterday they had council meetings here, whether you could walk your dog in the bloody park or not, or on the beach. Can you believe that? You're sitting down and arguing about that. 25,000 children just died of starvation in the world, and you're squawking about if you can walk your dog on the bloody beach or not, or in the park.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So you're going to see that. So keep it real, right?
Joe, Garden State Gardener, put this out here. If anyone wants endive seeds, that was in the live chat, and he said it's live chat, so he'll be checking for names and stuff. Email him, and he'll send you some. Joe's email is gardenstategardener@yahoo.com. And cool. So he'll need to have your mailing address or post office box, whatever you want stuff sent to, and he will send you seeds.
They like shade endive, hey? They really like shade. Yeah. But I must say, I bid you farewell for now. Gil and Corky, it was fun chatting my ear off. Made me laugh a lot, so I'll probably come back if you'll have me. And Gil, hey, should do this again sometime, and I'll get a little more prepared. I'll get some books out or whatever. I'll put up some different videos or something. I really like foraging, and I'm going live on October 1st in the morning around 5 Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to be just running it live stream for the winter outside. So should be interesting what I come up with food every day. I'm going to obviously take stuff out of the house after the earthquake, right? But it should be interesting, some of the topics, and hope to see you all there sometime, all the time.
All righty. right, so there's Joe's email, guys. So you can do it. Email Joe for the seeds. I think he already stepped out. He just threw that in there at the last thing. So
yeah, I also have to get going as well.
yeah, and so do I too. So thank you everyone that came in the chat. Just a reminder, Friday on Camp Patton Family Compound is going to be the how do you relax, talking about mental health. All right. See you guys all around and take care.
Bye, guys.
Peace and love.
And let's see.